today's episode, I speak to Connor Rush, founder of Fyre Games, the studio behind Into the Unknown, Summerland, and the upcoming first-person cinematic horror game Project Songbird. It was great to chat to Connor about Project Songbird, as well as some of the games that inspired him throughout his career. Just a quick warning on this one, we had a few sound issues during the recording of this episode, so at around 16-minute mark, you'll hear Connor's microphone start to crackle. It lasts a couple of minutes, and then Connor kindly swapped out his microphone for a different one, so all sorted after around the 18-minute mark. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy Memory Card number 7. Hello and welcome to Memory Cards. I'm Sam Hall, and today I am joined by game developer, musician, content creator, and moderately funny guy, Connor Rush. Hi, Connor.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, thanks, mate.
Yeah,
How
you
are
really
you?
went to my bio with that one.
Yeah, I did. I did. Now, of course, I know who you are, but why don't you explain a bit about yourself and Fyre Games for those who may not have heard of you before?
Yeah, so as you gratefully introduced me as, I'm Connor Rush. In my indie game studio, Fyre Games, it's Fyre. It's just a little game studio I've been running since I was like 10 years old or so. I've always loved making video games. I've been doing that since then, and I continue to make games to this day. I'm currently prepping the release of my 7th game, Project Songbird. In addition, I like running, I like making music, I like playing video games. I'm a pretty basic dude in most other respects.
Did you say you started when you were 10? That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, not good. I started making really bad stuff when I was 10.
Hmm.
I remember, I won't give any specific games because I know you're going to want to talk about specific games later. But my dad's PS2, when I was in his college apartment, was like the first gaming console I ever had to play with. And I remember how wild it was to me when I'd press a button on the controller and then this little dude on the screen would jump. I was like, that's crazy that that can work. And I so badly wanted to know how that worked. So I just went on Google and I was like, free thing to make games or free game making software, and found Unity. And I just taught myself Unity and I've been using it ever since.
Let's chat a little bit about your upcoming game, Project Songbird.
Yeah, please.
Um, am I right in thinking this is your first game to be released on a console, or is
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah, this will be my first ever console port done, and I'm so excited to have that. It's been
Oh,
a goal of mine for a long time.
yeah, I bet. I'm really excited. I'm a big PlayStation guy, so that'll be what I will be playing it on.
Oh,
Um,
same. No, I see. I have this really nice gaming PC, and my idea was like, oh, I'll finally start playing PC games. And the main reason is like I'm a game dev. I want a powerful machine to make games on. But I like the second thing was like I'll be able to finally do games on PC. No, I still like don't like it as much. Anytime there's a game where the option is console, I'm always getting the console, and I think it's because in my mind I associate the PC with a work machine. So the moment I start playing a game on PC, I'm like, this still feels like work to me.
I've also got a good PC. I tend to find myself being drawn towards the console, the
Yeah.
PlayStation
Is
5
there
Pro.
a particular reason for you? Like, because mine again is like I think I link it with work, and I also like the simplicity of a console. Like you know what you're getting. You don't have to like work with the parts or anything. Is
Yeah.
that like similar for you, or is there another reason that you're like so drawn to the console?
Yeah, I think part of it's definitely trophies. So obviously the platinum trophies
Yeah.
on PlayStation is a thing. Part of it is I always tend to have trouble connecting controllers to PC. Like, and they've made it better and better, and like
Yeah.
it should just work. But for some reason, I always have sort of some problem either plugging it in or using it wirelessly.
You
Um,
know what?
so that
That's
makes sense.
another thing that I never like. I've only learned as a game developer that so many people look for is achievements in games.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I personally never cared that much.
Oh,
Like,
really?
when I'm playing a game, I don't care about getting all the achievements,
Mm.
but I've seen people on Steam, leave negative reviews for games because
Mm.
certain achievements were too hard to get or, like, too unfun to get, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Wow, I didn't realize that was, like, a concern people had."
Yeah.
Like, that and replay value.
Mm.
I never saw much, I've never, like, really wanted to replay a game that much.
Mm-hmm.
I never approached games, and this might be awful marketing, so apologies to anyone. Sorry, publisher. But the no, I never made games with too much replay value in mind. Some Project Songbird is probably the most I've ever thought about it. Integrating like a new game plus mode and some bonuses you get after beating the game once. Um, But yeah, no, the types of games I like are super like linear narrative focused. So once I beat that game, I don't like have a desire to go back, but I don't care. Like I got my experience, I got what the game wanted to do,
Mm,
and now I can play more games. I don't have to get stuck on this one game. I can
yeah.
just go explore and have a good time with other things.
As someone who generally avoids horror games normally, I was really intrigued by Project Songbird's cinematic style.
Yeah.
So I did want to ask if there's any specific films that you might have taken inspiration from when making the game.
Oh, absolutely. If we're getting into specifics, like I love Robert Eggers. I think he's one of the coolest modern directors out right now. The Witch is a huge inspiration for me, as well as The Lighthouse, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm super excited for Werewolf whenever that's
Mm,
coming out. I think it's winter, but yeah, like the Robert Eggers movies, I love the look of them, the feel of them. Jaron Blaschke is the cinematographer for Robert Eggers movies, and he just does a phenomenal job. Outside of that, a lot of actually The Ritual. I don't know if you've seen The Ritual. It's a Netflix original,
no, but I've heard of
um,
it.
super underrated. Um,
Okay.
I feel like the movie flew so under the radar, but it has one of the coolest uses of a forest in a movie that I have ever seen. It really makes the forest feel like its own character, which is something I was trying to capture within Songbird.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm trying to think of some other movies. So one of the earlier influences and reference points for the tone of the story and the style of the story was I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Charlie Kaufman,
Oh
um,
yeah.
which is so incredible. Jesse Buckley and Jesse Plemons are two of my favorite actors, and just seeing them interact on screen was incredible. The performances in that are next level. And then other than that, like just generally, I really like those slow burn art house type horror movies. As controversial of a director as I feel like he's become, I do like some Oz Perkins.
Oh yeah.
Particularly, I'm gonna butcher the title here, but I'm the pretty thing that lives under the basement or under the stairs.
Okay.
Really cool tone. The work of Ari Aster with Hereditary and
Mm,
Midsummer specifically. I
yeah.
don't think Ari Aster has missed yet.
Mm.
I think he's an awesome director. And this is going to be a real niche one. So if anyone knows this movie, like shout out to you, La Casa Lobo or The Wolf House. It's a Chilean stop motion horror film that is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I want more people to watch that film.
Yeah. Okay, well, those are some good recommendations. Yeah, I can definitely see the inspiration in the ritual, just from looking at it very briefly, really.
I appreciate that because that was a big visual reference point
Mm.
for Songbird, on top of like the Blair Witch game
Yeah.
from Bloober Team.
Oh,
That
okay.
was one of the coolest game forests I've ever seen, just in terms of pure visual fidelity and feeling like a real woods.
So there are some great names in Project Songbird's cast, such as
Yeah, yeah.
Valerie Rose Lohman, if that's how you pronounce her name, sorry, and
Yes, yeah.
and Jonah Scott, to name a couple of them. What was it
Mhm.
like working with these renowned voice actors, and how did they
Oh,
come to be in the game? Was it an open casting call?
so it was incredible working with everyone in this game. I'm going to do a little backstory here to give some context to
Mhm.
things. I made a game called We Never Left in 2022, and that was made for Dread XP. And if
Mm.
any you or anyone listening is not familiar, Dread XP is a great horror publisher. They did My Friendly Neighborhood, Sucker for Love 2, Amanda the Adventurer. I had the opportunity to work on a lot of their games. Great people over there. But they got me to work on Dread X Collection 5, which is their like anthology game series. So for the fifth Dread X collection, I made a game called We Never Left, which was this little like walking sim narrative text adventure horror game. I got 2 months to do it. So I was like, I need voice actors, stat. I put out an open casting call, and a week in maybe, I get a Twitter DM from this lady named Jenny Yokobori, and she is a voice actor in Genshin Impact as well as The Simpsons.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, "Hey, I'm a voice actor. I don't want to voice in your game though. I want to be a casting director and producer." And I
Oh.
was like, "Okay, I could be getting the details wrong here. So Jenny, I apologize if I am." But I think she was like, "I've not done this really before, and you seem to know what you're doing. You have a track record of seeing things through to completion. Um, Plus, it's a super low budget. This would be like a great place to start. I'll do it for free, and like we'll just get this figured out." And I'm like,
Wow.
Cool. So Jenny acted as my casting director and has all these connections with different agencies and actors and knows the process of doing this professionally. And through that, for We Never Left, we ended up booking Jonah Scott and YouTuber Garrett Watts. Um, and working with them was excellent. Jonah Scott, in particular, we got along so well during those sessions, and we had such a great time working together
Mm.
that we had a text exchange after on Twitter in the DMs,
Yeah.
where we kind of came to an unofficial agreement that I have to cast him in everything I make from now on. And I'm sticking to that. So
Okay.
Jonas Scott's going to be there as
Hmm.
long as I can have him. I
Wow.
love working with that dude. He is so nice. One of the most talented people I've ever met.
Wow.
And one day I'm going to meet him in person. I'm going to find a convention near me that he's coming to, and we're going to hang out. It's going to be a great time. Other than that, Valerie Rose Loman is excellent. That one is a funny story, actually. We were friends on TikTok for a while. Uh, I had seen a video she had done where she was doing the sketch series called like if Edith Finch was in like X thing. Like, oh, what if Edith Finch was in a Disney Channel sitcom or
Okay.
something? When I saw that video, I was like, "Oh, this is funny." They do a really good Edith Finch impression. Uh, no idea. I had zero clue.
Yeah.
Uh, so I followed them, and I think they actually were following me already.
Mm.
And we just like texted a few times. I was like, "Hey, your skits are funny, whatever." Only like a year later, I learned they were the voice of Edith Finch. I'm like, "Oh, that's like my favorite game of all time."
That's so funny.
Okay, cool. So when I was writing Songbird, I kind of had this inkling of wanting to cast Valerie in the lead
Mm.
since the beginning. But obviously, I was going to go through the whole audition process. I want to pick the best actor for the role, like
Mhm.
regardless of who I have in mind, or like I'm not married to anyone yet. Valerie just happened to have the best audition I had heard for that character.
Really.
Like it was exactly what I was looking for. So that was a no-brainer. And Valerie killed it. We had so many recording sessions, so many lines.
Mm.
You as you would have as the protagonist.
Yeah.
But they're so sweet and amazing to work with, and I hope to have them again in the future.
That's awesome.
In addition, we got to work with Alex Lee, who's
Oh yeah.
becoming a huge name now.
Hmm.
He is on like one of the most meteoric rises I've ever seen from an actor recently.
Yeah.
He plays a minor supporting character, a major supporting character, minor overall character, I'd say. I'll let you guys see in the final game.
Okay.
But Alex, in the few points in the game he is in, needs to deliver because of how infrequently he's there, and he delivers.
Mm.
Some of the most emotional, impactful, heartbreaking performances I've ever heard from any voice actor. He does such an incredible job, and I could not imagine anyone else doing a better job than him.
I can't wait to hear them all in the game.
Thank you so much. I
Yeah.
also want to shout out Maddie Murphy and Will Champion. They're on the D&D live show 20 Sided Tavern,
Oh.
which I believe just went on hiatus, which sucks because I was going to go see them so I could
Oh.
meet them in person. But
So-
yeah, no, check out the 20 Sided Tavern because those guys are in
Okay.
it too, and they also kill it.
And what are you playing at the moment, Connor? If you have any time left outside of game dev currently.
Oh gosh, I have so little time outside of game dev, but
Mm.
I do try to keep playing games because it's like no good writer is every good writer's a reader, every good game developer is a gamer. So recently I just beat Total Chaos, which I don't know if you've seen that one. It is by the guy who did Turbo Overkill. It is a pretty hardcore survival horror game where you play as like it's very Silent Hill. It's like a no name protect. No, sorry, I'm like mixing up all the details. You do have a name. It's very mysterious.
Yeah.
No talking protagonist,
Okay.
um, who just washes up on this island asylum slash prison slash town, and is trying to get out. And it's super hardcore survival horror. There's like hunger meters and bleed meters, and you have to craft your weapons, and everything has durability. And it's just a really good psychological horror story. I think it started as a Doom mod too. It was like a mod for Doom 2 that got
Okay.
made into its own thing. Highly recommend. Great,
Nice.
like some of the best gameplay I've seen in a horror game in a long time.
Okay. Yeah. I'll definitely have a look. Like I said, I tend to avoid horror, but you know, If it's
This one's pretty crazy too. This might
okay,
not be like a light
a
horror
start
type
horror.
experience.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I also just finished playing 10 Dead Doves. Great surrealist narrative game by oh geez, I read the title of the studio all the time. Du- Duonix Studios. I could
Okay.
be totally pronouncing that, so I apologize. My friend Mark Bryam, um, Mark Bryam like worked on that, and he like we talked during the horror game awards. We met at a pub, and we were just talking about our games. I'm like, oh, this sounds right up my alley. So I went home, played it, and it's excellent. Anyone out there, check out 10 Dead Doves. Like it's so good. In addition, I just got Harold Halibut, which I have not played yet, but
Mm,
that's gonna be the next one I jump into. I'm a huge stop motion fan. So anything involving stop motion or claymation or anything, I'm so on board with. And Harold Halibut looks like it just takes that to the next level.
yeah.
I'm trying to get like indie horror that's come out recently that I've been really into because that's like my primary consumption since Songbird. I'm super hyped for Resident Evil 9.
Yeah.
Like when that drops this month, they had us move our release date. We were gonna release like same day, and then they
Really?
announced theirs, and we're like we're pushing back a little bit. We hadn't
No
announced the
way.
release date yet. We hadn't announced
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
yet,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we were good. We're
Internal.
like, there's no way we're releasing same day as Resident Evil 9.
Yeah. That would have been rough. That.
I have Routine, which I started and
Yeah. That was good.
I haven't played much of yet because I did want to play 10 Dead Doves so badly at the time. So we will get to Routine.
Yeah.
But yeah, my game playing is like super minimal at the moment just because Songbird has taken up so much of my time. But Total Chaos has like been my jam right now. I just beat it, so I'm excited to move on to something else. Probably Harold Halibut, but we'll see.
Yeah. Did you play Mouthwashing from 2 years ago?
I did.
Yeah.
And mouthwashing is excellent. That is that has been one of my like top narrative games recently. That it's just so well told, and anyone who doesn't like games, I've been sure to like show this one to them. And and it's a story. You can watch this game on YouTube and get the full experience, and it's excellent.
Yeah.
Um, Although you should buy it, you should go on Steam, purchase it, give those developers all of your money. Uh, another narrative one I played very recently that was incredible was Ludo. Ludo was phenomenal by the Spanish developers Broken Bird Games. Actually, so funny enough, there are a lot of coincidental similarities between Songbird and Ludo. And if you play Songbird and then play Ludo or vice versa, you will see all of those to a degree where I was like, oh no. So the moment I finished playing Ludo, I messaged the developers and was like, hey, your game's phenomenal. It's one of my favorite things of the year. Here's my game. There's a lot of similarities. And so
That's
if there's
awesome.
anything too close for comfort, let me know because
Yeah.
there are some things that are like staggeringly similar. But they're chill about it. They're like, yeah, it's like way too close to like too close timeline wise for you to have like copied anything.
Yeah.
That just it was a crazy coincidence of like multiple things in this game, but an incredible game. Like, please play Ludo if you haven't.
Ludo.
It's super underrated this year or last year, 2026 now.
Sorry, say that one more time. I had you muted. No,
Okay.
you're fine.
For anyone who, if in case Sam has decided to edit around this, my microphone was crackling like a fireplace, so I've hot swapped to a Blue Yeti. So my Shure is getting a break here, but we're back with clean audio.
Awesome. Clean audio. That's what we like. Okay, so Connor, I know
Yeah.
you think we're here just to talk about Project Songbird, but
Well, I assume that's what this was an interview for.
yeah, I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you, mate.
Oh,
I lured you into doing this podcast because I need gaming memories and opinions to survive. I consume them, wiping them from my subject's mind in the process, and unfortunately, as an avid gamer and game developer, you're my next victim. So
Sam, that's quite rude of you.
I know. I
I can't.
apologize.
What stopped me from closing this meeting right now?
The process has already started. There's nothing you can do
Ah,
now.
well, if it's
Um,
already started, I might as well just keep on with it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. However, I am a kind monster, and I wish to
Okay,
offer you the opportunity to keep some of your favourite and most influential memories and opinions.
that is
Uh,
kind of you.
it is kind.
Yeah.
I will ask you a series of questions about your experiences playing video games. Whatever you answer with shall remain in your memory when you wake up tomorrow. Everything else will be gone. Do you
That's
understand the
so
terms
unfortunate.
I've laid out for you?
I gotta start thinking of the worst games I've played and make sure I don't talk about those.
Yeah. Excellent, then we'll begin.
All right.
So, I think you might have already mentioned it, but what was your first games console?
First game console was a PS2. I'm a baby in terms of the game dev space. I'm 24 right now. So yeah, that PS2 was like what my dad had in his apartment during college, and I remember that. And then pretty soon after I started playing video games, the PS3 came out, and that was the first one I ever bought with my own money. I remember Little Big Planet was my launch title. That was like the first game um, I'd ever gotten on my first console I'd ever gotten. So that was a lot. I lend Little Big Planet a lot of credit into me being a game developer today,
Mm.
and it's like creation tools and level design stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Little Big Planet I really loved as well.
Mhm.
Uh, I remember going into Game at the time, which is like a GameStop or whatever, the UK equivalent at least. I remember going in having the actual demo console there for you to play, and Little Big Planet
Yeah.
was always on. Um, yeah, that was great.
Do you guys you guys don't have Walmart, do you?
No, we don't. No.
Yeah,
I,
I whatever equivalent of like a superstore like that. I remember there was the video game section, and there'd always be the controllers that were like attached to the wall. A
yeah, that's
TV
it.
you could like play something on up there. It's great. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, so sick.
Um, but no, Little Big Planet 2, weirdly enough, is like really good coding logic teaching,
Mm,
because it brought in like the logic gates and
yeah.
the microchip thing. And I remember my first year of university computer science courses. I knew everything already from Little Big Planet. They used the same like visuals and terminology and everything. So if you ever want to like pick up basic coding, like Little Big Planet 2 is kind of excellent.
Yeah, that's good advice. So I was going to ask, what is the first game you remember playing?
So some of my first video games I remember playing were PS2 games with my dad.
Ah, of course,
Um,
yeah.
some I don't remember exactly which is the first, but I'll throw out a few. Lego Star Wars games for sure.
Mm,
Kingdom Hearts 2, and Kingdom Hearts 2 is to this day like one of my favorites of all time. It's
mm.
so good. Um, I remember like one of the Rampage games. Me and my dad played a lot. Also, this is a funny one because it is notoriously one of the worst games of all time. But we had the PS1 Simpsons wrestling.
Oh wow, wow!
I don't know if you're aware of like how the awful reputations of Simpsons wrestling,
I'm not.
uh, but we played that all the time.
That's so sick. How did I not know this existed? That's great.
Again, like notoriously one of the worst games ever made.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's so it's so good. I only watched like a little documentary about it a few weeks ago,
Mhm.
and I learned like it was performing so badly just in terms of like tech wise
Yeah.
because they used a real time shader to make the Simpsons look cartoony.
Oh
So
wow.
every frame it had to like calculate the outlines and
No.
everything,
Oh my
um,
gosh.
because they wanted to make it look like they were the Simpsons.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just could not
Jeez.
run.
Yeah, of course. That's crazy. Um, okay. So, big question now. But what is your favorite game of all time?
Oh, I always have like a list.
Mm,
I struggle to pick one. I'd
yeah.
say if I have to pick one, it's got to go to The Last of Us.
Mm,
Um, I feel like it's a pretty basic pick for a lot of people, and it
yeah.
is. But The Last of Us for me was like a game that taught me what games could be.
Mm,
It was one of the first games that had a narrative that emotionally effective and well told. And I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to make games that tell stories this bold
yeah.
and this impactful. And it's really shaped what my tastes are now. In addition, if we're going Naughty Dog, like Uncharted is up there. Those Uncharted games are some of my first gaming memories on that PS3. Little Big Planet, as I mentioned, and then games like What Remains of Edith Finch and Firewatch.
Mm.
Those also kind of shaped my tastes and showed me the narrative potential of video games.
I started playing Firewatch like a couple weeks ago. I still need to
Yeah,
finish it. I should have really done it in a couple sittings, but I want to
such a
get to that.
phenomenal game.
Yeah.
That is one of the best stories. I've ever seen told in a
Mm,
game. It's simple, it's small, but it is so well done.
yeah.
I even think the ending is excellent.
Mm.
That's a big hot point, and I don't know how much you know about Firewatch.
I actually don't know anything.
I
Like,
won't spoil it for you.
thank you. Yeah.
I won't spoil it for you then, but the general consensus is that people are very disappointed by the ending of it.
Okay.
But I could not disagree more. I
Okay.
think the way they do the ending is so thematically relevant and
Mm,
ties everything together so well.
mm.
But I'm curious what you think.
Yeah.
Send me an email once you're finished, and
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
give.
I'll send you an email. But yeah, and you said Last of Us. I'm massive Last of Us fan. Got the Last of Us
Mhm.
Part Two tattoo
I was
on my
gonna say
arm.
that looked familiar
Yeah.
to me. Did so you liked part two then?
Yeah, I love Part Two. Yeah.
I also loved part two.
Yeah, great.
I'm a lover of a controversial story.
Mhm.
I love something that's not playing it safe, hence
Yep.
my previous mention of loving Ari Aster. I love an artist that isn't afraid to like push their boundaries, push the limits of
Yep.
even what their audience is okay with.
Yeah.
And hopefully Songbird does something similar.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. Especially like sequels as well. I I love a sequel that just takes a swing and just challenges you. Connor, what game do you have the most hours in and how many hours? You don't like
That's
to
tough
replay
for me.
games, really, do you?
Yeah, that's tough for me because I'm not a gamer that plays these like super long, intensive games.
Mm.
Man, if I have to think of something that I have a lot of hours in, I did play a lot of Expedition 33 when that came
Oh,
out. Phenomenal game. Actually, that should have been in the talks in my
yeah.
favorite games of all time because after I finished that, I had that like conversation with myself of like, is this in my all timer list now?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is this in my top five now?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Expedition 33, I had a lot of hours in. For me, a lot of hours, which is like 50.
Yeah.
Um, Kingdom Hearts 2, I remember I logged a
Mm.
ton of hours. That's a long game though.
Yeah.
Um, so I think I had like in the triple digits for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Mm.
Um, Gosh, I'm trying to think of what other like long games I've played because
I
I
mean,
have just not recently.
yeah, no, yeah, that's
I was a
fine.
big Borderlands fan
Okay.
at the time, and I remember I sunk a lot of hours into Borderlands 2
Mm.
when that was like a newer game, which is so long ago.
Yeah.
Um, Man, if I have to think recently though, I'd have to say Expedition 33. I know
Yeah.
it's not like a massive game, it's not like
No.
the longest game in the world, but like I was going on doing all the side stuff, finding all
Mm-hmm.
the hidden bosses.
Yeah.
That's a game world I was getting lost in.
Yeah. What is a popular game you have not played yet but want to?
There are so many. I'm gonna give a one that's gonna get me like roasted at the stake by a bunch of gamers out there. Any of the FromSoft games. I've never played a FromSoft
Oh,
game.
wow.
Bloodborne, any of the Dark Souls,
Mm-hmm.
Sekiro, nothing.
Wow.
Um,
That's great.
I want to try one so badly, but the
Mm.
fact that they are like premium games,
Yeah.
they are like notoriously long and notoriously hard.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not gonna like it. I feel like I'm not gonna enjoy it. And I'm worried about like jumping in. You
Yeah.
know what? This is gonna make it worse. I have Bloodborne.
Dude, oh, really?
I
Oh my
own
gosh.
Bloodborne and
Yeah.
I've never played it. I got it on PS Plus for free like a year ago,
Mm. Oh,
2
yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
Um, I've never touched it. I
Wow.
should.
Yeah.
You know what too? Like RPGs. I've never been like an RPG guy. Hence
Mm-hmm.
my like I don't like the super long, super convoluted. I like my games simple.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else like haven't and want to because I'm very much the type of like I see it, I download it, I play it.
Yeah.
Oh, Dishonored 2.
Okay.
Never play. I have it. I have a physical disc copy of Dishonored 2 and I've not played it yet. Same with Prey.
Amazing. Oh, okay. Wow.
I have a physical disc copy of Prey and I've not played it. So sorry to the Arcane Austin guys. I'm sleeping on your stuff. This Dishonored I played. It's excellent. That's why I wanted the sequel so bad. Did not play it. I love me a linear game. I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
start to finish story type stuff.
Yeah.
RPGs and open world stuff. I get myself very overwhelmed
Mm.
and lost in this world, and I get to a point where like I've played this for however many hours, and I don't feel like I've progressed.
Yeah.
It's
I
all
feel
my
that.
fault because I've not been doing the main story stuff.
Yeah.
That's another reason I haven't played like The Witcher
Mm.
or Cyberpunk. Which actually, that's one I want to play Cyberpunk.
You want to play Cyberpunk?
That seems like something I'd be super into, despite my RPG like distaste.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Maybe.
it just seems like the type of thing I might draw myself towards. I don't know why.
On a similar vein, what is a popular game you will never play?
God, that's a tough question because I
Mhm.
struggle to ever say I will never play a game. Because to me, games are their own art form. It's like I will never watch this movie. Like I no, I would probably watch any movie once.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's a game that just like morally or ethically I would just
that's
never want to
fair.
touch.
That's fair.
Um, Nothing's coming to mind
That's
right
comes to
now.
mind. I'll give you maybe a push. Some people
Okay.
say like particular multiplayer games for this, just because they've got no interest in playing those games.
Yeah, I mean, if they were talking about interest, right? Like, I'm not a multiplayer guy,
Mm,
especially stuff that's more hardcore.
yeah.
Like, if you're getting like Counter Strike or League of
Mm.
Legends or stuff where people are like real into it and like you got to be active, communicating, you got to be good or people are going to hate you. I don't like that. I am a filthy
Mhm.
casual when it comes to multiplayer games. Throw me in like a no mics, no voice chat round of like Call of Duty, and
Yeah,
I'm fine.
yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think because if we're talking just like I would never play that,
Mm.
maybe something along the lines of it's not new, but if we're looking at a game like Hatred, right? That was like the game that came out a while where you're basically just like playing a mass shooter. Like I would never play that, and I have zero desire to play that.
Mm.
It feels like it's just distasteful for the sake of being distasteful,
Right.
and that's
Okay.
not my vibe. Or if you
Yeah.
talk about like some like weird niche games that are like super like hateful and distasteful, like I wouldn't touch those. But no, I'm pretty open minded when it comes to my gaming consumption.
Okay. Well, that's a great answer. That.
Don't put me in like a hardcore lobby of like Overwatch though.
Yeah. No. I'll not be inviting you to come play Marvel
Thank you.
Rivals.
I'm not an esports guy.
If you could live in any video game world, which would it be and why?
Ooh, man, most game worlds suck.
Yeah. They do.
Most game worlds are just bad, and that's why you have a story to begin with.
Mm,
Man, maybe man, I might have to throw it to Little Big Planet because they got so much. Like you could just
yeah.
do whatever you want.
True.
Little Big Planet, there's so much whimsy and
Mm,
fun, and everyone's like having a good time. Talk about a good multiplayer experience.
yeah.
That's one where everyone's just having a good time.
Yeah. I
Little Big
completely agree.
Planet. That's
Yeah.
got to be an answer.
That's a great answer, and we've not had it yet, so I'll take that.
Throw me in Little Big Planet.
Amazing. What is a game that you wish existed? I mean, this is always strange to ask a game developer this, considering you've made games.
Yeah, well, the game I wish existed was a narrative horror game about a musician who's isolated in the Appalachian forest. I
Mm.
really hope someone makes that game one day. And no, is there a game I wish existed? I mean, that's it's hard for me to say because I am currently in my era right now where I'm releasing a game and I need to start coming up with ideas for the next one. And I'm
Ah,
having
yes.
ideas, but like that's the kind of question I'm asking myself every day is like,
Yeah.
what kind of game would I want to see? And I haven't come up to like
Hmm.
a great answer yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm going to have a great answer for that one at the
That's
moment, just because
that's
I am actively trying to work on
yeah.
finding that out myself.
That's fine. You also
Um,
wouldn't want to, if you did have an amazing idea, you would
yeah,
not want to
no
say
one
it on
steal
it.
my stuff here. I'm watching you, other developers.
What is the last game you played that was outside of your comfort zone?
Who probably Expedition
Yeah.
33. Because like I said, I'm not an RPG fan. I've never been into JRPGs. I think it is technically a JRPG, right? I know it wasn't
Yeah,
like
it
Japanese
is.
made,
Yeah,
but it's
it
in that
is.
like
It's the
wheelhouse.
genre, not the
Yeah, just
origin of. Yeah.
everything about it. Turn-based combat too has never gripped me, but something
Mhm.
about the trailers and the art style and gameplay just like made me want to give it a shot. So I dropped the $50. I got my physical copy, and I was like, yeah, let's see what's up. And I fell in love with it.
Yeah. It's
So,
a
call to all gamers: do something that you wouldn't normally like.
yeah, definitely. What game had the biggest impact on you, perhaps due to the circumstances around you as you played it?
I mean, at the risk of repeating myself, I do go off on tangents and probably answer future questions. So I
That's
apologize for all the
fine.
spoilers.
That's fine.
But Little Big Planet and The Last of Us.
Yeah.
those games came into my life at very formative times, and
Mhm.
both influenced me to be a game developer and influenced the type of games I want to make.
Yeah.
Um, so those were just like a big deal for me, and I'm glad I ran into them when I did.
Mm. How old were you when you played The Last of Us?
The Last of Us came out when I was 12,
Wow.
um, and I remember because I was a huge Uncharted fan, and
Mm.
my dad and I were both excited for The Last of Us.
Mhm.
And Christmas that year, he got me the PS3 Last of Us when it came out.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad and mom weren't married, so I was living primarily with my mom, and I was just visiting my dad for Christmas. And I was like, I don't want to play it until I get home because my like PS3 save data is over there, and I don't want to like replay.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna play it a bit." So I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna leave so I don't get like the spoilers."
Mhm.
So he played through a bit, and then
Oh my
he
gosh.
comes back to me and he's like, "Hey, you're not allowed to play this."
Yeah.
It's like, "No!"
Yeah.
But I remember I when I was finally, like, of the age where I was like, "Oh, I can play whatever games I want now."
Mhm.
And I don't know, I was, like, 15 or something. I turned in my PS3 copy, got the PS4 remaster,
Yeah.
and played through The Last of Us for the first time,
Mm.
and yeah, it blew my mind. I will say, like, that on top of Expedition 33 probably have the best prologues in any game I've
Yeah.
ever played.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Last of Us is still, like, up top there of best
Mhm.
intros of any game of all time.
Yeah. It's amazing, and the music as well. With you being a big music fan, I assume
Yeah.
that's played a part as well. It's
Oh,
just
for sure.
incredible.
The Last of Us soundtrack has played a role in, like, a lot of my soundtracks since, particularly Summerland and Project Songbird.
Yeah.
Um, because you did play Summerland.
I
So
did, yeah. I
Summerland
was
is
gonna say
really
actually when I was playing
yeah,
it
that's
yesterday, I would be listening and I'm like, this definitely sounds like Last of Us.
I recorded that soundtrack, like, by
Mhm.
myself in an afternoon, I think.
Wow,
I
wow.
was just coming up with I was basically improvising the whole soundtrack to Summerland, which
Mhm.
was
That's
not my
amazing.
intent. I thought it was gonna be a huge undertaking, and then I just kinda wiped all the songs out in a day.
Mm, nice.
But the Songbird soundtrack, The Last of Us was definitely a, reference point, but my bandmates actually kinda put that one together
Mm,
outside, and, particularly Jacob Noska, my band's guitarist.
mm,
He did, like, all the scoring for Songbird, and I gave him that reference point of, like, I want, like, jangly, messy sounding Appalachian guitars
yep,
and, like, metal clanking sounds.
yeah.
Like, let's make this sound like a junkyard in a haunted, like, village or whatever,
Yeah.
and he knocked it out of the park.
Honestly, yeah, nailed it. Yeah.
Music for Songbird, I consistently get told is, like, the best thing in this game.
That
It's
excites me.
yeah, then our drummer, Jonah Hemthorne, did the In Universe album. So the game's about this
Oh
artist
yeah.
like retreating away in the woods to record an album, and that album exists. There's a like 10-track LP that my band's drummer Jonah put together, and it's so good. It's so catchy. I catch myself listening to those songs like outside of development often.
That's amazing. Oh yeah, I can't wait. What is your hot take game? The game which you disagree the most with its critical reception?
Oh man, this is one I give a lot because I am so confident about it.
Hmm.
Resident Evil 6 is a good game.
Okay.
Resident Evil 6 is a good game, and I'm gonna go even farther. I'm gonna say Resident Evil 6 is better than Resident Evil 5.
Wow. They'll be
I don't
coming
know
for
if
you with
that
that one.
I don't know if you've played both?
I've no, in fact, I've played a bit of six, if I remember rightly, and I've played a bit of two remake, but
A
again, the others have not. I know of them, obviously.
as a Resident Evil fan and someone who makes horror games, this might be me shooting myself in the foot with my horror game credibility. I love the Resident Evil games. I think they're great.
Mhm,
I think my favorites are, like, obviously, the 4 remake was excellent, on
mhm.
top of just the original Resident Evil 4.
Yeah,
Um The I love Resident Evil 7. I think that might be my favorite one.
is that Biohazard?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the Louisiana mansion.
Right, yeah.
Um, but my hot take, I I think Resident Evil 6 for me is a more enjoyable game than Resident Evil 5. I
Wow.
I know that 5 is like not like the highest rated game, but it's still very loved by the fan base.
Yeah.
I think 5 and 6, I have my reasonings. 5 and 6 both went into action.
Hmm.
They both wanted to be like kind of an action game, co-op. Resident Evil 5 is not scary. And I think it carries on a lot of the dated game design that worked in 4
Hmm.
because 4 was what it was. 5 wanted to be an action game, but kept the gameplay systems of 4. I don't think it worked. I
Okay.
think it felt sluggish, it felt clunky in a game that did not need to feel sluggish and clunky. Resident Evil 6, that's got some crazy good gameplay. The movement system, it's wild. The combat is so fun, and they just go balls to the wall like action the entire
Yeah.
time, and I think it works. The
Okay.
design and the tone like mesh together so well. The story's stupid,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I think Resident Evil 6 gets way too much hate,
Okay.
personally.
Oh, that's great. That's a great answer. That's a proper hot take. That. Um,
Come at me in whatever comment sections there are for this.
yeah. The Spotify comments will be out here. What upcoming game are you most looking forward to playing besides your own? I'm sure you've played it a
Oh,
million times
geez.
already.
Resident Evil 9 for sure.
Yeah.
Um, Gosh, I don't keep track enough of like the upcoming games I'm excited for. Um, I oh geez, what's it called? The new frictional game,
Frictional.
Ontos, I think.
Oh,
Yes,
Santos.
Ontos.
Antos? You're right.
Super
Antos.
excited for that. Soma is phenomenal,
Mm,
and I think frictional can do no wrong. Like Amnesia: The Bunker was one of my favorite games I played of 2024. I think that came out.
mhm.
Um, so I'm super excited for that. The new Hellraiser, it looks really good. That got a new trailer at the Horror Game Awards where I got to present, which was so cool.
Oh
Trying to think
no
of other
way!
horror.
Did you really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, yeah. I was
That's
in
so sick.
London. I was in London for the Horror Game Awards end of
Wow.
last year. I got to do a new trailer for Songbird and present the Best Art Direction award. I got to
Oh,
go on
awesome.
stage both times. I had
Wow.
my snazzy little velvet suit.
Damn. I bet that felt awesome.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
I'm hopefully going back this coming year.
Nice.
Hopefully with some nominations this time around for
Yeah.
Songbird.
For sure. What is your memory card game? If you could wipe just one game from your memory and experience playing it for the first time again, what game would you choose and why? Of course, I'll be removing this one from your memory. So.
No, don't remove it from my memory. No, I honestly like The Last of Us was such an impactful experience when I first played it. That ending moment of like Joel and Ellie on the grassy hillside, like
Yeah.
what the most chills I've ever felt during an ending of a game. It's
Hmm.
so well acted and directed. I would love to experience that again.
Yeah.
Or any of the
Um,
Kingdom Hearts games because I do feel bad because I'm repeating the same games, but I
no,
do
it's
have like
fine.
my log of favorites. Those games have such a magic to them
Yeah.
that like to experience a Kingdom Hearts game for the first time, it's such a weird and like magical, whimsical experience that is just so amazing. I would, what? I want to experience Kingdom Hearts again as a child.
Oh, that's yeah. That's
That
that's
is
that's
like
great.
that is like a wide eyes, like dreamer type game. I love
Mm.
it.
Coming from someone who has never played the Kingdom Hearts series, would does it still hold up? Like, if I were to play it for the first time as an adult, is it
I
still great?
I think for sure.
Okay.
It's like a JRPG light. I don't know if you're
Mm,
into JRPGs at all, but it's like
it depends.
it's a bit more like simplified from your typical JRPG.
Okay.
I think they do hold up quite well, especially the remasters
Yeah.
they've done for like modern consoles.
Okay.
I will say, like, there are so many of them,
Mm.
and the story makes zero sense. So, like, don't go in expecting to be following anything that's happening. I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan, and I don't understand a thing that's happening in these games. Um,
Okay. Good.
but yeah, like if we're talking the mainline ones, like 1 through 3,
Yeah.
I think they hold up shockingly well, especially the first one holding up as well as it does.
Mm.
The second one is the best one, and I think most people agree that Kingdom Hearts 2 is the best Kingdom Hearts game.
Right.
Do you know the whole like difficulty of following the Kingdom Hearts games?
I know nothing about the story at all, other than like there's. Am I right? There's different like Disney universes
Yes,
in
it
it.
is. It's
Yeah.
a Final Fantasy Disney crossover game.
Ah, of course. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know
With
that.
original characters. So you play as an original character, but you're meeting Final
Yes.
Fantasy and Disney characters. It's a bizarre
So
concept that's
strange.
weird to even exist.
Yeah.
But the issue with the Kingdom Hearts games, they made Kingdom Hearts 1 for PS2. And it was great. Everyone loved it. And they're like, all right, we're making Kingdom Hearts 2 next. And they're like, great. So Kingdom Hearts 2 comes out and opens with like a new character and a bunch of stuff that happens between 1 and 2. And everyone's
Oh.
like, what's going on? Why is this character here? Who are these people? What's going on? Nothing makes sense.
Mhm.
It's because they released a spin-off called Chain of
Oh.
Memories for the Game Boy Color
Oh,
or
you're
like Game Boy
joking.
Advanced. That is a direct sequel to Kingdom Hearts 1 and needs to be played to understand the story of Kingdom Hearts.
That
That
is
is the
rough.
whole concept of everything Kingdom Hearts. Every spin-off of every handheld or weird console, 100% canon and 100% necessary to understand the story. So there
That's so
are
annoying.
PS2 games, like DS exclusives, PSP exclusives, like all these weird little niche. There was a mobile MMO game.
Oh,
All
wow.
of them are essential playing to understand the story.
No way. That's
um,
crazy.
so it's horrendous. I've not played all of them and probably never will. But they're fun and I don't care.
Yeah.
I guess they like remedied it in the remasters where you can like
Ah, okay.
you could play some of the PSP versions on like PlayStation now, and some
Oh,
of like the mobile games they've condensed into movies that you can watch on these remasters. But yeah, it's ridiculous
bizarre.
that they thought people would be able to keep up with that.
I'll maybe give Kingdom Hearts a go at some point.
It's a good one, man. You got to get past the prologue. If we talked about
Yeah.
Last of Us having the best intro,
Mhm.
man, the Kingdom Hearts games,
The
they
worst.
got some slow intros.
Oh, damn. Okay, okay. Finally, what is one game you think everyone should play? The game you answer with will be placed into the Hall of Games for future
Oh,
generations.
man. That is a tough question.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is against the rules, but do you have any games you could like give me right now that people have said before?
I can give you what people have said
I'm
before.
curious what some of these on the list are.
Yes, so we've had our first entry was Age of Empires.
Okay.
1,000 times resist.
Oh, I've heard that's excellent.
It is excellent. You definitely should play it.
I've not played it yet. Adding that to my list of
It,
games I haven't played but want to.
when it comes to like stories that
Mhm.
are the creative director worded it so well, and I can't remember how he worded it, but basically just like if you're into challenging stories,
Yeah.
definitely you'd enjoy that.
Oh, yeah. This sounds like a me game.
Yeah, definitely. Near Automata is on there.
Okay.
Perfect Tides. That was actually the creative director of 1,000 Times Resist. That was his answer.
I'm looking
Um,
that one up.
yeah, Perfect Tides. It's a 2D point and click adventure.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, he absolutely loved that game. And Mass Effect 2 and Half Life Alyx. And those are our Hall of Games.
Gotcha. Ooh. Okay. I'll throw it out there. Obviously I have some bias towards it. What Remains of Edith Finch.
Amazing.
I think that is such an incredibly told story. And if we're talking about something everyone should play, it is so accessible. The
Yeah.
gameplay is minimal. It's super cheap. It is one of the best told short stories I've ever experienced in a game. Um, some of the best environmental storytelling I've ever seen in a game. Amazing performances by the incredible Valerie Rose Lemon. And just, it is a game that I also think could show a lot of people what gaming can do. um and it really does break a lot of stereotypes of games as like just a thing for fun. Like what Remains of Edith Finch is a piece of art
Yeah.
that I think everyone could benefit from experiencing.
Yeah, that's a fantastic answer actually,
Yeah,
because you are right. It's a game, but it's just an interactive story,
yeah.
which is definitely what games can be.
Mhm.
And it's so beautifully told. That's a
Yeah, and it like you could talk about some of the greatest games of all time with like these
Mhm.
RPGs or strategy games or whatnot, but I think a lot of people like fall out of genres like that because of the complexity. But
Yeah,
like, I think something like Edith Finch is so accessible to a both a gamer and non-gamer crowd alike.
yeah,
Yeah,
fantastic,
I'm throwing that as my answer.
amazing.
Uh,
Well, I'm afraid that's all the questions I have for you.
I
Um,
forget everything already. I don't know a thing
yeah.
about games. I don't know how to make games anymore. I think Songbird has to be canceled now because I
Oh
can't work
no.
on it anymore.
No, all your influences are gone.
Yeah, I
Um,
know.
yeah, sorry about the whole devouring your gaming memories thing. At least you can
No,
enjoy Kingdom Hearts again for the first
yeah, no,
time.
it's fine. I should have read the fine print before coming
Yeah.
on this show. It's
Oh,
on me.
yeah, you should have. I'll just leave you a post-it note saying play Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
That'll
Yeah,
help,
yeah.
and then you're
That
fine.
works.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, Connor. You've been amazing.
Thank you
Um,
so much for having me. This has been an excellent time.
oh, absolutely. Just before you go, do you want to go ahead and tell people where they can find you and Project Songbird and all of that?
Yes. Just a reminder, my name is Connor Rush. It's ConnerRush, and my company is called Fyre Games. It's FYRE Games. You can find me on Instagram at Connor_W_Rush, on X under Fire Games Real, on Blue Sky is Fire Games, TikTok is Connor Rush, and then my game is called Project Songbird. It's coming to Steam, PS5, and Xbox systems. It's available to wishlist right now on Steam and PlayStation, and it's coming out March 26th of this year.
Yeah, fantastic. There you have it, everyone. Go and follow Connor. Wishlist Project Songbird on Steam, PS5, Xbox, everywhere. I've been Sam Hall. I wish you all a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time on Memory Cards. Bye bye.
Woo!
So that's it for this episode of Memory Cards. Thank you to Connor for coming on the show, and thank you all for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and leave a comment telling me the game that means the most to you and why. You can find me anywhere at Sam Hall of Games. Thank you to Bluefields for the music. Thank you to TheFrenchDipDesign for the logo and podcast art. Go make some gaming memories, and I'll see you next time on Memory Cards.